It is the top 16. We're putting the full top 16 onto YouTube. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, support the top 16. We did this early on in Master Duel, and if it gets good support, we're going to keep on doing it now. It's a lot of extra effort for Gia and my editor to get this out onto YouTube, so it needs to be supported in order to continue doing it. All right, now let's do this. Generaider with the new box versus Tearlaments in the top 16. How did this happen? Well, Generaider cheated a little bit. They're using the help of Invoked, but still, legit. Let's go. Hajime.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
All right, Monstrosity, which will special summon a level 9 from the hand. Not an ideal use of the Monstrosity. That's when you did not draw too well, which is what happened here. That is not good. Now, Harpy Feather Duster completely wiping out the back row, not even chaining Metaverse because then the field spell will get wiped out also. So, like, no. Generaider, this is not a good showcase of why you got into the top 16, as the other duels we spectated were actually quite amazing. Damn, this is just unfortunate. Because you added a card to the hand, we're going to activate Har, forcing you to send a monster you control or in the hands of the graveyard. And the Har is a really interesting ruling. It does not send the card to the graveyard itself. It makes your opponent send the card. Thus, a card like Rhino Heart, when sent to the graveyard by card effect, would summon itself back in the field, but was not sent to the grave by card effect. You sent it, not Har. All right. Merly will be activating, though, but it is already over. Let's hop into another duel. Boda, come on. Draw a little bit better. I believe in you. Okay, you know, we got Invoker, but Ash is going to be able to negate. Havness is going to be the direct chain link instead to the Invoker instead of ashing the Invoke Search. Quite interesting. Milling Agido. Agido is going to be milling 5. We also have Fairy Tale Snow. We can banish 7 cards to summon and flip a monster face down. What the heck is going on? We do have Ash negate. That is great. But now we can't stop a Maxi. And if we Maxi on the resolution of this being negated, we could have drawn off of the link, drawn off of the invocation. We're a bit late on that Maxi, but it's okay. We still get draw 1. Could have been draw 2, so maybe it's not so okay. Another Harpy Feather Duster, though. What the heck is going on? Shokan into Makaba. Makaba will be able to negate a monster effect. Did we just banish the opponent's Fairy Tale Snow? Yes, we did. We could use the opponent's graveyard for our fusion summon. That was great. Now we could add the Invoker back to the hand, which could boost up the Makaba to 3,500 attack. We could discard a monster to negate a monster and banish it. So if they activate in the grave, if they don't chain link block, we will be able to negate and banish. Harpy Feather Duster, we're going to imperm, and then clearly, I guess in TCG, if you have like a back scratcher with you, you just whip this out, plop it up on the field, and do not play in this row. We got Sea Mare activating on Summon Ascend, a monster from the deck to the graveyard. The Makaba is going to discard 2, negate, and banish. What now? Sharon is going to be discarding the Ash, mill 3. Did we get a card to activate? Yes, we did. Kelbeck and Rhino Heart. Rhino Heart's going to be discarding the Sulliek. It does not negate monster effects, so it's okay to summon into the column. Just don't play spell or traps. I mean, this is ridiculous. What the heck were you thinking, Konami? Why? Why did you nerf impermanence due to popular feedback? Reinhardt sending Sharon, Sharon activating for Fusion Shokan. I'm all for better gameplay clarity. I think they're even hard once per turn should be tracked somewhere on the screen. If I were to hold the information bubble, if it were to show a little Sharon head, a Rhino head, and a Havness head, I would be okay with that. That's fine. I think tracking hard once per turns are okay, but come on. The main funny gimmick of impermanence, you really had to ruin it? We got Kit Cow sending Merly from the deck to the graveyard, activating to Fusion Shokan. Come forth and summon Kaleido Heart. Kaleido Heart is here on summon, spinning back the already activated Makaba. Goodbye, as we have 10,000 damage on the field. I'm also okay with this. This is good. Using calculators are boring. Lethal damage. That's a 2-0 for the Generaider. Well, we do have other tournament footage of Generaider. That will be in a different video, not in the top 16. This is single elimination. He has been eliminated now. let's hop on another one. We have tier versus tier. I know maybe you're sick of seeing this, so we could speed this up a bit. We have Imperm negating the Rhino from sending a tier from the deck to the grave, attempting a Fusion Shokan. We're going to follow up with the Branded Fusion getting negated by the Ash Blossom. No Fusion Shokan for you. All right. The Rhino could have eaten Ash. Some people do Ash the Rhino, so the follow-up Branded Fusion would have been really good there. Just like this. This is where you would then follow up with your own Branded Fusion that you do not have. You have Sulliek ready to negate a monster on the field. We're not going to negate Rhino because we don't have a Tearlaments in the hand to discard to resummon our Rhino with. Now, we both have dead Sullieks, but ours is not dead if we activate a monster effect to then summon the Hovness from the hand to mill 3. The Branded Beast is dead. The Sulliek is dead. I mean, we are super dead here. Rhino on summon, sending the Sharon. Sharon, get Fusion Shokaning. We just have nothing. 3 dead cards. Yeah, just scratch the heck on my leg. What the heck? We have Kit Cal. Come forth. Hold up. Okay, we're good. We're good. We are going to Kaleido Heart on summon, spin the back row back on the deck. Not quite lethal damage. Let's go back to Vinci. She cries because she wants to go outside. I don't know how we stop that. She cries from anticipation. She cries to go outside. We let her outside. She runs out. Then she runs back to the door. What is that? Why? Why does she want to go outside if she runs and then runs back? All right, Brandon High Spirits. Elfing the Maxi. Yes, you do that because just to get another body on the field. Because the Sulliek is going to be able to send it to the graveyard if you don't want to send a monster control. But sending Kaleido is actually very good. Because then Kaleido resummons, then sends a monster from the deck to the graveyard to perform a fusion, and we also get to spin. And you do not want to summon Merly because you want to summon Merly during the opponent's turn, and also making sure to not summon the Maxi to where the elf is pointing to because that is the targeting protection. So we'll summon the Merly to where it is protected from being targeted, mill 3, potentially Fusion Shokan. This duel's over. Tragedy. What are you doing with the Tragedy? Summoning the Merly, not protecting it, but that's okay. Whatever we send from the deck to the graveyard, we could be using to Fusion Summon into the pointed area of the elf to have it targeting protected. Tragedy banishing itself to grab a Branded Fusion from the grave. Now, the crime is going to negate the Tragedy, recycling the Branded Fusion. If you thought the Tragedy was doing nothing, it was actually a legit play. Legit enough to force out the use of the crime. Now, unfortunately, if we actually had the use of the Branded Fusion, the random Kelbeck, which is semi-limited, could special summon to spin back the Lubellion, completely screwing up the Branded Fusion anyway. Now, let's go. Kelbeck's one of those cards that you just don't play around it, and then when they use it on you, you're screwed. But I would say for the Tearlaments mirror match, it is valid in a way to try to play around it. Let's go. Regained. If a card that is light or dark is banished, we could return it to the bottom of the deck to then draw 1 and do so every single turn. Branded Fusion against the Maxi. At most, they'll just be drawing 2. That's fine. Albion getting the Lubellion in the graveyard, but in order to summon the Lubellion, that is going to be another draw for Maxi. As I said, Kelbeck randomly screwing a Branded Fusion play, just like it would have done for game 1. Spinning back the Albion, now we can't make a Mirror Jade. I guess we could banish Tragedy and Albion, Lubellion, draw another card, Lubellion, discard a card, then make a Mirror Jade, draw 3 instead of 2. That's exactly what we do. But the Tragedy will also be searching. Lubellion's got to discard as a cost. And the Regained also returning at bottom of the deck to then draw 1. The Ash is going to be usable on Regained and Tragedy, but both are being chain link blocked, so this would be, you'd have to use a Ghost Spell on this one. No Ash, usable on Lubellion. Very good. Get return in, making Mirror Jade. I guess it works out. You draw 3 and I get to draw 1, which kind of cancels out your draw 3. Yes, maybe. We are grabbing, randomly drawing into the Brandon Red. We also have Alubur, which could search for another card to be used. That will be eating the Ash. No Ash for you. Lubellion in the grave and not summonable. Not that we would probably want to summon it. We're going to banish the Kelbeck using the effect of the Mirror Jade. No longer going to be able to banish during the opponent's turn. All to set up a Branded opening. Why would you do this? So this is actually, I would say, a really good idea because of the Branded opening is going to be able to be summoning or adding Let's click on even branded Tearlaments, because that's what this deck is. We're going to be adding the Libitum. So if you are playing Libitum, which 63% are in branded Tearlament, you're going to be able to use it with your branded in red. If your opponent has a Bestial, it does stop that play. And the branded in red using the Ad Libitum is going to be summoning a Chimera. Chimera is going to, where's the Chimera at? Pop multiple cards on the field, also draw cards, and resummon the Mirror Jade on the field to then non-target monster banish again. But do we have a card in the graveyard we could even use the branded in red with? We don't. So we don't even have a play. We set up a play, but we don't have the play because there's nothing to use branded in red on. A bit sus. Wait, this is branded tier versus branded tier. What the heck? Chaining Maxi, we could add instead of Special Summon. Discarding the Sulliek, adding the Ad Libitum. Alrighty. And because it was discarded by card effect, we're going to be searching for a Havnis. Havnis could maybe make the branded in red activatable. And you're the opposing player knowing that their Mirror Jade can't activate. You know they have a branded in red. You know they have it, like, everything is open. Open book. You know, not activatable, not triggerable, and we just don't play into the Havnis. This can't activate. Can we play around it? We're playing right into it. Right into it. Are they going to mill a Despia or Albaz? Yes. Now the brand red is live. It is live. And whoa, we are Kelbacking when we already have the Albaz in the graveyard? Okay. Alrighty. Heartbeat. Bro, now you Heartbeat? How about Heartbeat before mill 3? This was not even activatable if you would have Heartbeat in response to Havnis before it milled. Oh, no, no, no. Now the Ad Libitum is going to resummon the Mirror Jade. Mirror Jade is going to be able to banish. We're going to be able to pop. We're going to be able to draw. Uh-oh. We're not even going Chimera. We're just going into Masquerade. So you're going to burn for 600 on every activation, and the Mirror Jade's going to come back onto the field. Minus 600, 8,000 life. How many activations do we have left? Ooh, that's new. That's a new animation. Continuous effects, because I guess they weren't apparent enough, they will now have an extra glow to them. I noticed that with the Traptrix field spell, the continuous effect of an additional summon is going to be glowing. Little glow, little glow. The tax animation. We tax and chain link 7. Serenir sending Retribution from the deck to the graveyard, which could add a branded spell or trap of the grave back to the hand. Mirror Jade resummoning, now activatable to banish a monster on the field non-targeting. Summoning Serenir from the graveyard in response to your opponent's summoning. We are all under max C, by the way. Drawing per special summon. Adding back the Merly. Summoning our Rhino, discarding the Merly. Adding Sharon with the effect of the Kick Cow. Minus 600 again. Non-target monster banish on the activation to fuse. You cannot fuse the Kick Cow to make a Dragostapelia, nor a Rukalos. We could potentially make a Kaleido Heart play here, right? But we're not. We're making Gangrenol. Gangrenol on summon will send a level 6 or higher, dark or light from the extra or deck to the grave. We're going to exceed into a Chakanine. So we passed on the effect. We didn't even use it. Chakanine into Borbo. We're going to get Zeused. Take out the Havnis so it does not trigger off of the Zeus. Retribution, grabbing branded fusion right now. Why right now? Why not wait? Making Zeus mate. Zeus is going to be wiping the field. Full field wipe, send everything from the field to the grave. Now, the Sharon is going to be discarding a card to mill 3, triggering the Scream to mill an additional 3. 17 cards left in our deck. We now have a Shuffler in the graveyard. We chose to not shuffle the Masquerade back in the deck. Now, the minus 600 taxing, it's gone. No more taxes. We do have activatable crime. No, we don't. We need a monster in the hand to use the crime to negate anything. We have double imperm, though. Let's go. Foolish Burial Goods sending the Sulliek. Sulliek is limited to 1, by the way. Adding the Havnis, now making crime activatable to negate anything. Add back the High Spirits. Add back the Cartesia if we have one. We don't have Cartesia. Cartesia was shuffled back in the deck. Fusion Deployment, it could be fun. Summon Albaz in the deck if we still have one. Maybe we don't. on someone discarding the Serenir to get Fusion Shokaning with the Zeus. We're going to Imperm negate the Albaz. And your Albaz also triggered my screen to mill 3. Let's look at the top 3 cards of the deck that he is milling. Milling Cartesia, Grief, and Scream. Serenir activating to send a Branded Fusion. We don't have a Retribution to add it back, but do we have a Tragedy to banish and add back? We do not. We are going to be chaining the Crime. Negate the Branded Fusion activation, but you cannot negate the activation because the Branded Law states that the activation cannot be negated. You can negate the effect with an Ash, but not negate the activation, mate. Now, you could be thinking, well, okay, he holds on to Crime to negate the Lubellion. You cannot activate in response to the summon of a Fusion summon. So you can't Crime the Branded Fusion, you can't Crime the Lubellion, and then if with your toggle on, summon a Mirror Jade, activate it on summon in response to your own summon, you still can't Crime, you can't Zeus either, and you're gonna get banished, and that would be the play, which we could do right now. Alrighty. So a Chainlink 1 is a Fusion. Let's go, let's go. So make sure in response to the summon, get Fusion, get Banishing. In response to the summon, that is. So we're waiting for all this to resolve. Making Kick Cow. There you go, chaining to the Kick Cow, which is in response to her own summon, and you can't chain Zeus. Got him. Can't Zeus! Can't Imperm, can't activate Havnus, can't activate anything. We are going to Fusion Shokan into Rukalos. Kick Cow, mill 5, Sharon, activate Diffuse, Keldo, chain to spin back. You could have Havnus there. How can you Havnus in response to a Fusion summon when the Branded Law states you can't activate in response to a Fusion summon? But he could Havnus in response to the Cartesia, if that's what you meant. You are right on that, yes. All right, to battle we go. Imperm onto the Rukalos. Chaining Branded in High Spirits. Double Column is now going to be Impermed. Double the bubbles. Can we get a replay where all 5 columns are bubbled up? Lethal damage. Let's get ready for game 3. All right, Branded lost, winning the game. Sharon discarding the Albion, sending the top 3 of the deck, triggering the Scream to grab a Sulliek. Albion sending a Branded in High Spirits from the deck to the graveyard, and then we pass him. Interesting. The Crime's activatable to negate anything. Sulliek's activatable to negate a monster on the field. We're going to Crime spin that back, but the Mad Lad has 2 evenly matches. Not cool. Evenly Match is one of the best counters to Tearlament because they usually are comboed up with the Sulliek, which is required to have a Tearlament on the field to even use it. Max C in response to the Fusion deployment, special summoning a monster from the deck. We're going to chain Branded opening to discard by card effect the Sharon to summon an Alibur before the Max C resolves. We're going to special summon our Rhino Heart. Kelbeck is here and ready. We could chain the Kelbeck, but I don't think we should. We are going to Fusion Shokan as we add with Alibur, all under Max C in main phase 2. How much do we want to do? Do we stop here? Kit Cal, search Sulliek, send, set, and end. Set Super Poly, set Sulliek, and we're good, right? We don't have to do any more Fusion. That's exactly what we do. Perfect. All right, got Maxi again. Sharon is going to be discarding Kelbeck to mill 3. Are we activating the Kelbeck? Yes, we are. Havnus on the bottom, Kelbeck on the top. We're going to mill 5, then fuse with one of the materials that we have milled with the Kelbeck. Adding a Book of Moon Meta Noise. That is the mill 5. The opponent also has a Kelbeck to activate to mill 5 for both players. Are we going to be crazy enough to mill 5 for both? Kit Cal on summon, chaining with the Tragedy being sent to the graveyard by card effect. We are, in fact, going to mill 5 again for both players. But we're also going to Super Palmerize into what? Fusing with either side of the field. Kit Cal into Rukal. Rukal can negate and effect a special summon a monster. Both Kit Cal being sent to the graveyard will activate to mill an additional 5. How many cards have we milled so far? Searching for a Scream on the resolution of our Kit Cal. Merly activate, Kit Cal activate, Mill 5 activate, Rhino Heart special summon and discard the Meta Noise or the Scream. Heartbeat, add back the Crime. And our Kit Cal is also going to Mill 5. Our Merly is going to Fusion Shokan. Our Scream is going to search for a Trap. And we're going to maxi Chain Link 8. Chain Link 9. Can we get Chain Link 10? Chain Link 10. Mudora spinning back the Branded Fusion, attempting to be added back to the hand with the effect of the Retribution, stopping the Merly, stopping the Rhino summon. That Rhino wasn't even activating to summon. Our Rhino's activating to summon. No Merly Fusion Shokan. Add back the Crime. I think we spun back the wrong card. We did not target the Crime like we were supposed to do, that the Heartbeat was targeting, but we do have our own Crime also. Come forth Rhino, discarding the Meta Noise. We're going to then Mill 5 with the Kit. Return 3 back with the effect of the Merly to make a Kaleido Heart. Kaleido Heart on summon, spin a card on the field back into the deck. We are getting rid of the Rukal. Rhino Heart chaining. We could flip up the Sulliek to negate the Kaleido. And we're going to activate our Sharon to Fusion Shokan. Serenir sending a Branded or Bestial from the deck to the graveyard. Chain Link 10 to Chain Link 6. Alrighty. Send the Alibur, negate the Kaleido, sending a Branded Fusion. Sharon and Albaz is going to make a Lubellion on summon, discard a card to then fuse into a Mirror Jade if we still have an Albaz. Do we have an Albaz? We do. We could make a Mirror Jade. Come forth, activate, discard Crime, returning the Albaz and Kit Cal to now get Mirror Jading. Non-target monster banish. Yeah, there was a shareholder meeting discussing that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not new player friendly. I don't know what would new players have trouble with in this duel. I don't understand. We got Baguska putting everything into defense. Anything activated while in defense is negated. You are negated, but it's okay. You get to still send the Albion, which will activate during the end phase to search or set a branded spell or trap. We have a Keldo to shuffle back the Albion before it activates, but it looks like we chose to not do that. So you are going to be able to activate. We still have an opportunity to do so. We didn't do it. All right, we have Keldo who's going to be saved for a Tearlaments Fusion instead. Now. We have Sulliek sending our Lubellion to negate the Baguska. We can now activate the Mirror Jade again, which will be negated, spinning the Mirror Jade back into the extra deck. Albion will be activating during the end phase. Discarding our Cartesia, that's not going to be triggering a summon. Because you dealt with our fusion, that will trigger the Alibur to summon from the graveyard, negating a card on the field. Everything is now negated. You triggered the Scream, sending the top 3 cards of our deck to the graveyard, activating to Fusion Shokan, chaining your Rukal to negate my fuse, so I'm going to chain my Hovness to your negate to come forth and summon in Mill 3. Maybe we're going to activate Diffuse again. Calbeck again. Calbeck to Mill 5 for both players. And we got the Hovness Fusion Shokan. We could Chain Link block with the Kaldo even though it is negated. It now prevents you from negating the Chain Link 1 with a card like Ghost Spell. All right, that is the block. Come forth in Shokan, back into the deck, into our own Rukalis, which will negate the effect to special summon. We did not use our Kelbeck because we only have 4 cards in our deck, by the way. Not enough to mill. Keldo is going to spin the Merly back in the deck, stop it from Fusion Shokaning, and also remembering to return back the Albion, hopefully the correct one, so it does not activate during the end phase. But we forgot to return the Tragedy, which is going to recycle the Branded Fusion. Uh-oh. Yeah, we returned our own Merly when we could have returned Albion, the activating Merly, and the Tragedy, which is recycling the Branded Fusion. All right. We're going to Branded Fusion. This negates the activation, not the effect, and you cannot negate the activation against a Branded Lost. I think that Vinci tried to negate the activation of Vodka's Branded Fusion with a Branded Lost, and now it's happening the other way. What is going on? I think the timer must be low. What is going on? Wasted our activation negate, summon a Lubellion mate, chain the Lubellion to the Hovness, chain link blocking it from being negated. Branded Lost probably going to be searching for Mercurier maybe. That could be pretty good. Blazing Cartesia instead. Cartesia could special summon if we have an Albaz in the graveyard, which we did just shuffle back in the deck. We did use up our normal summon. I'm not sure if we still have an Albaz in the graveyard to summon our Cartesia with. Maybe we just play one Mercorier. That's why we did not add that. We're going to make a Kit Cal. Kit Cal, instead of searching, is going to send a Sharon. Sharon is going to return Rhino, Kit Cal, and Sharon to make a Kaleido Heart on summon, spin a card on the field back into the deck. Goodbye to the opposing Kaleido. The newly summoned Mirror Jade is going to be sending a Rinbrum to the graveyard to non-target monster banish. And let's clean up this field with a total 10,000 damage on the field, but we got to clear up a bunch of monsters so we don't have lethal damage. Now, Rinbrum could summon an Albaz from the graveyard during the opponent's turn, but we do not have an Albaz, so that play is not in play. Albion is going to be sending the Brandon High Spirits in the hands of the graveyard, thus allowing it to special summon onto the field. Merly with the Scream is going to mill 6. Sulliek is going to deny the mill 6. Instead, it will just be mill 3. Sending our own Kaleido, which will trigger our Kaleido to summon Kaleido to spin a card on the field back in the deck and then send a monster from our deck to the graveyard to fusion summon into. Okay. We have the Havnis activating the fuse, and what I said is happening also. So whatever we fusion Shokan into could be spun back. Sending our Havnis to perform another fusion Shokan with, which it has not activated yet. Kaleido versus Kaleido. Double Kaleido, we already activated the Sulliek negate. We're targeting the Rugal to spin it back. Havnis chain to fusion Shokan. Probably gonna Shokan with the Rugal that's being targeted to be spun back. Kaleido spin Kaleido. And as I said, we're going to use the Rugal for a Fusion Shokan into a Kit Cal, which could send a Tearlament from the deck to the graveyard to then resummon the Rugal, or we can make a Dragostapali, whatever we have room for. Fusion summoning, that will trigger our branded loss to add an Albaz from the deck to the graveyard. We're going to send that Merly to do exactly what I just said, resummoning the Rugal, which was targeted to be spun back into the deck. Now, we are going to Suicide with our Albion, and I think we know who now wins this. We are pretty much out of plays. Mirror Jade is going to non-target monster banish, which will not trigger the Merly. That is over 10,000 damage on the field. Lethal damage, and finally, Branded Tier versus Branded Tier has come to a conclusion. Sign up and download Master Duel today. Let's go. Vermelio on summon will search for the Traptrix Trap Hole. We do want to max C before the Link summon of Sarah, which we know is coming. And we're going to search for a... Okay, this was not a good max C. And whoa, Duel Links PTSD. Treacherous Trap Hole. What the heck? No traps in the grave, pop 2 monsters on the field. You want to max C on the resolution of the search because... Nod 3Q probably would have searched for the Traptrix Hole T, which is not good against Max C, but then you Max C, then he is screwed. We're going to Lord of Heavenly Prison, still under Max C, summon a Sarah, because the Sarah will be activating during your turn. And we could permanently flip a monster face down, plus pop 2 cards on the field. 2 monsters, that is. Rhino, send Havnis. Havnis, get Fusion Shokaning into the Kit Cal. Do we Floodgate Trap Hole the Kit Cal? I think that would be a very good idea. Which will trigger the Sarah. Uh-oh. Red reboot. Half of our life points are activated from the hand to negate the Floodgate, flip it down, set another trap for the deck. You cannot activate traps for the rest of the turn. Can we win this duel? We are going to add with the Scream, and the Lord of Heavenly Prison just got screwed. It's revealed right now, waiting for a spell or trap card to be flipped from face down to face up, but the activation was negated, so it does not get to summon. We are going to Kit Cal, send itself, summon Merly. We're going to mill a ton of cards. We're milling 11 cards with Scream, mill 3, Kit Cal 5, Merly, mill 3. We have Agito, mill an additional 5. We have Snow, summonable from the graveyard. We got Shufflers in the graveyard. We can mill 10. Now, do we have Mudora and Kaldo in the graveyard? Did Tearlament get nerfed or what? Is this full power tier? What is going on? 2 Shufflers, 2 Millers, everything you could ever want and need. Milling 21 cards in a single turn. That is balance. The whole T, because you sent it to the graveyard, could banish itself to summon the Mermelio. Mermelio could then pop a back row card, could also trigger the Sarah to set a trap from the deck, but the Sarah is going to get spun back into the deck with the effect of the Kelbeck because we forced you to mill. And we're also going to use our Shuffler to spin back the Myrmelio you tried to summon, so the Sarah would not even activate. Alrighty. Now, it's kind of interesting. You red rebooted, which makes it so you can't activate trap cards. You're not activating the trap card, you're activating the effect of the trap card. So you're not activating the card, you're activating the effect, which the red reboot only stops the card activation. And that is 6,800 damage on the field. Fairy Tail Snow for lethal damage within the battle phase. Finish him. Red reboot. Red reboot stocks are going up. Labrynth, Traptrix, get bootin'. Set 4 pass with Dimension Shifter. Let's get shifting in the draw phase to play around a triple tactics talent, which a lot of people are playing. Just gonna set pass. That's it. We're not gonna do anything else. We're chilling. The Genelisi is gonna be banished as we summon Sarah. Sarah, oh, we're unaffected by our own Treacherous Trap Hole, which is only activatable if we have no traps in the graveyard, which all our traps are being banished anyway. So maybe we should have saved it, and that's okay. We're going to Sarah trigger summon Mantis. Mantis Kid, return our Torrential to trigger the Sarah to set a hole. That was good play, very good. Add the trap back to then discard with the Traptrix Hole T, and now making a Pingu. We have already used up our normal summon, but the Pingu could search for an Arachno if we want an additional special summon, which we're just gonna hold on to the Mantis, which will be on summon, searching for a Traptrix monster, which will be the Arachno for a rank 4 Exceed. 1 card, rank 4 Exceed. We got the Scream with the field spell, Solemn Judgment, negate the field spell. Where this card was at 3 in TCG, only limited to 1 in Master Duel, you probably would not Solemn it in TCG, but I would say that was a good Solemn Judgment. We have Rhino and the Scream, which will mill 3, plus we're going to mill whatever we want from the deck as we mill a Diviner, Lubellion, and Reinforcement. Sharon will be Fusion Shoconning. Pingu, because a monster was sent to the graveyard by card effect, she could suck it up. Suck up the Sharon, stopping the Fusion Summon. But we're also going to chain Havness to your Pingu to summon and mill 3. Summon, mill 3, Snow, Scream. Scream will be searching for the trap. Snow will be summonable by banishing 7. There goes your Fusion Shokon play. Now the Pingu is unaffected from Aqua monsters. Sarah's going to be setting a Gravedigger Trap Hole. Very good against Tearlament. If they activate a tier effect, let's say Sharon in the hand, you could negate and burn for 2k. Or if they activate Diffuse in the graveyard that's not Chainlink blocked, will also negate and burn for 2k. Compulse will spin back the Dark back into the extra deck. We're going to chain the Fairy Tail Snow, banishing the Dark, plus 6 other cards in the graveyard to come forth and summon and flip down the Pingu. Pingu at 300 defense. We are going to be chaining the Sarah in response to a trap activating, summoning the Myrmelio, which will be destroying the back row Scream. Goodbye to Pingu. Pingu be gone. We got the Traptrix Hole T in the graveyard, which could banish to resummon the Pingu back onto the field. Let's go. She can't detach material to search for a Traptrix, though. Maxi is going to be preemptively be activated. We're going to Gravedigger Trap Hole, negate and burn for 2k mate. The Crime is no good. Let's look at the graveyard. There's nothing too good there. Sarah's going to be triggered off the Trap Hole, summoning Pudica. Pudica banishing the Fairy Tail Snow. Pingu is going to suck up the Snow so the Snow does not get resummoned next turn. Sarah setting a Traptrix Hole T. We still have our normal summon. We sucking up that Snow. But we do get to reborn another monster that was banished with the effect of the Pudica. So the Rhino Heart is going to send. But why didn't Pingu suck up the newly sent monster? What, we're playing around the Crime? Or we're unaffected from Crime. Why? I don't understand. Why didn't Pingu activate here? We're waiting? Now we're doing it? What's wrong with... Why is the Pingu broken? The Pingu can only suck up if it's Exceed Summon? Is that the problem? All these cards of materials unaffected from traps. Okay. You could detach. If a monster owned from your opponent is sent to the graveyard by card effect, you could attach the monster as material. You already did it? Oh, was it? What do you mean? This is like a new turn. Was Snow done this turn? Did we already Snow this turn? We already did. Yeah. Okay. We already did it. We already did the effect. It is the same turn still. So it wasn't the previous turn. Okay. Yeah. She can't endlessly suck. She's got cooldown on being able to suck the opponent. Pingu again. She's still, but it is a soft once per turn, so we're going to be able to suck now. Crime. I'm unaffected by crime. The Traptrix is unaffected from traps. Using the major counter trap to negate the activation and shuffle her back is not going to work. Unaffected. And she actually is just detaching to search right here. We're not sucking up. Is the suck up a soft or hard once per turn? Detach material if a monster is sent. You can only use each of the effects. Okay, they're both hard. She's double hard. She sucks once. She searches once. We're going to be searching for Alumiris. Alumiris is going to be able to special summon a monster from the graveyard by detaching 2. The Myrmelia will activate even though there's no back row to pop. The Hull T is going to reborn the Mantis from the graveyard. Are we making Adipus? Are we Adipussing? I think so. Maybe not yet. Granite? What? Detach searching for Lord of Heavenly? Oh my lord. What? We are making Utopic Draco Future? No way. 2 rank 4 exceeds, 3,000 attack. We can negate a monster and take control of it. It's time to Adipus. If we have a normal trap in the graveyard, we are boosted. We could target the Kaleido and then destroy it, but then it gets to summon. We could then negate it from summoning. Okay, if we let it summon, it also sends from the deck to the graveyard, then that would activate another fusion. But when it activates on the fields, we could then take control of it. We could have taken control, but then they would fusion summon. So maybe not worth it. Just stop it from summoning because it does too many things. Does not activate if destroyed by battle. No mill 5 for you. Let's go. Lord of Heavenly, that was kind of interesting. Even though we're not using it, we just use the Grand Knight to make the Utopic Draco Future here. Mill 3, negate and take control. Mate, your Merly is mine. Now, we do have Fairy Tale Snow in the graveyard with 7 cards in the grave plus 1 in the hand. We're going to have to banish everything to summon it. Evenly matched. Battle phase, let's go. Adipus for lethal damage as the Utopic Draco Future would just negate the Fairy Tale Snow. All right, Traptrix. Only when the Exceeds have the material, they're unaffected from traps. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Going second as Traptrix is going to be quite difficult. That's why you do want a main deck evenly matched to help out with going second. We're going to negate the Rhino from sending a monster from the deck to the graveyard to trigger a fusion, but we have the Sharon to make that play anyway. Sending Sulliek, is this a limited one? Sending a limited one to the graveyard to search for our Havness, which we're going to discard with the summon of the Rhino being discarded for the effect of the Sharon. Get Fusion Shokanen, and we're going to have our rank 4 Exceed. Kick Cal on summon, going to search or send from the deck. We're going to grab a Scream. Scream will be milling 3 as we send the Kid Cow to summon our final Rhino Heart. We're going to be milling 8. 3 level 4 monsters here. We need to send a monster to trigger a Fusion Shokan here. We got Kel back in the graveyard to mill 5 for both players. Merly, Sharon activate, and the Kelbeck activate. Now, against a Traptrix deck here, it's not completely safe to use your Kelbeck against, so I'll bring up the deck list real quick. Here's a sample deck. You could be milling a Hull T and a Pudica. The Hull T could reborn the Pudica to then banish a card you control, but mill 5 for Tearlaments, too good to pass up. We are going to get Fusion Shokan, and we do not have a Hull T in the grave. Our dead Treacherous Trap Hull is now in the grave. Rukal ready to negate an effect to special summon, which could negate the Hull T anyway. And then we got Garura, which we could send to the graveyard to draw 1. Making a dark. Is there a dark monster in the graveyard? There is not, but we were able to draw 1, grabbing the Keldo. We did use up our normal summon. Special summoning our Fairy Tale Snow, making a Spright Elf. Elf is going to be able to reborn a level 2 tuner from the graveyard. 4 + 4 + 2 equals Baron de Floor. Untargetable Baron de Floor. Omni negate. We could negate an effective special summon. We could negate anything. We could reborn Merly, mill 6 with the effect of the Scream, probably trigger a fusion into a Kaleido to spin a card in the field back in the deck. How? We can't break this. There's no way. We could just set everything though. Vesiculo is going to do something with a trap card in the graveyard. What does it do? Target a trap hole, set it to your field, and we're not going to do that because the shuffler is going to shuffle it back. No to you. All right. We got Mantis on summon, going to be searching for a monster, which will be the Arachno, which could special summon to make our rank 4 exceed. Not happening. But we have spin back on summon, wipe the entire field, negate a card in the hand or grave. Elf is about to mill 6 cards with the Merlion Scream. Let's see what we mill. Look at the top right. The cards milled are going to be right here. No trigger. We got Hovness. Hovness is going to be able to go into Kaleido Heart, spin at least one of those backrow cards back into the deck. Now, the Baron de Flor effect to negate is once while face up. So we're not going to make the Kaleido Heart yet. We're going to Kit Cal send Sharon, and then we should be able to, if we have a Rhino Heart still. Yes, we do. This will be the spin back. What are we spinning back? Oh, just a Compulse. Okay, you know, we really, even if we get the Torrential to work, it's going to resummon Kaleido and the Rukal after being destroyed. What do? Did not compulse. Wow, he is targeting the Compulse anyway. I was going to say did not compulse before it can activate to destroy a card in the field. Spin back. Wow, that just is optimal. Target Compulse, then Compulse another monster. Well done. Plays into Torrential Tribute. Are we torrentialing the full field? We cannot negate it. This is it. Wipe the field. This is going to trigger a lot. We're going to mill 5, mill 8, summon Rukal. We can now mill 13 cards because we can actually mill 18 cards. Mill 18 and fusion summon and summon Rukal. What the heck happened to Yu-Gi-Oh? Torrential used to be good. Okay. Let's get milling. All right. Mill for both players. Mill for both players. That was a mill 20 cards total for both players combined. And we're still milling of our own. Mill 3 with the Scream. Mill 5 with the Kid Cal on top of the mill 10 of both of our millers. We now got Kaleido. I don't did we even bother using the Gravedigger Hole? Was there even anything to negate? What was the final chain link? I don't even know. But goodbye to the Gravedigger Trap Hole. It's only a monster effector in hand or grave that it can negate. So the Crime chain link blocking the Trap Hole from even being activatable, that's going to mess it up. The Hole T attempting to special summon a Myrmelia, which is just going to attempt to destroy the Scream, is now negated by the Rukal. And because the Rukal did not destroy the card, we do not have to send to the graveyard. It's a free negate. We also have Dragostapelia to negate a monster and turn it into level 1. Kit Cal is here, and it has not activated its effect yet to search or send a Tearlaments card. Where's Spright today? I feel like Tear is just clapping and slapping. If we look at the tier list, Tear right behind Spright, but I think that's going to change today. What is going on? Holy moly. Set Super Poly Pass. Not even normal summon Mudora. I guess we could discard it, so that's fine. Martha Chain, Max C, Ash, Negate, Super Poly Mate with the Martha and the Elise. We do have a triple Tactics talent activatable. Use it. And now we got a big bird. We are drawing 2, ripping into a no play. Whoa, okay. If you move a card from the graveyard, Elise will become an exceed. Vadis is no, we don't have anything here. This is wild. Chimera with the big poppage. Pop and draw. Can't imperm it because it's untargetable. We're drawing a ton. Draw 1, draw 3 total, pop 1, goodbye to the Vadis non-target poppage, so we didn't know that we had to activate it. And no graveyard manipulation in sight. Effect Veiler holding on to the impermanence. How can we come back from this? Top deck Martha. Or Pax Search Martha. Banishing Martha, Shokan into Dark. Do we have a Dark monster to special summon? We do not. And back to you. Stella no good, Stella no play. We pass with the set Imperm. We got Hav, we got Keldo. Let's get battling. 6350 on the field, enough for lethal damage. All right. The deck that's supposed to counter, the deck lost to the deck that it's supposed to counter. All right, let's hop into game 2. We are opting to go first with our Exosister being met with a Max C, which we cannot negate. The triple tactics talent mate potentially wanting to look at the hand and return a card back instead of drawing 2, since we pretty much have already what we want and need. Search for Vadi, set Returnia. Maybe look at the hand is better here. Yep, we look and we taking a peek. We're returning back the Super Poly. Back into the deck you go. Got full information on that hand. Max C in the draw phase in case they top deck a TTT themselves. Since you are going to manipulate the graveyard, I'm going to summon 2 monsters that say if you manipulate the graveyard, they turn into Exceeds. This is a double Exceed play. Wow! That's an outplay. Tricked you to activating Vadis. Then I'm going to banish before the Vadis gets summoned. Whoa. Got him. But I mean, it's like, who would not chain Vadis? I mean, we would all be like, what? How do you not chain Vadis? I don't know what you could do here. What do you do? What do you do? All right, summoned in attack position. Did we think that they were going to perform an Exceed? Well, we're going to use Returnia to banish and then make an Exceed right now. Get Exceeding into Asophiel, which is just like a Dweller, which is going to turn off the ability to activate cards in the graveyard. We got the field spells searching for Rhino. We haven't used up our normal summon yet. It's over. Scream and Rhino. We're going to mill 3 and send a Tearlament from the deck to the graveyard. The Mikalis cannot activate to banish since it was not... This is not the turn it was summoned. Foolish Burial sending a Mudora, now ending the turn. I mean, what happened here? We can't activate in the graveyard. So, yeah, so that's what happened. We can't activate in the grave. But the Bestial will trigger the Scream to mill 3 to maybe activate in the graveyard then. Mudora is going to shuffle back a Tearlament, triggering the field spell to pop a card in the field before the Mikalis activates to search for a card. It could search for packs, which could search for anything. That works out. Baldrake banish before they get an Exosister out, randomly milling a Havnis, and now we got our Fusion Shokan play. Well, well, we got Grapha. If you breathe, Grapha will negate. Will Grapha negate? Yes, it will. And by negating, it forces you to turn your effect into making me discard. All right, discarding the Magna Hut. Fairy Tail Snow banishing from our graveyard and field 7 cards to summon and flip down the Asophiel. The Asophiel could have killed itself, then we could have evenly matched. That is the end. 2-0 victory. Pot of P, digging deep. If you want to know how to play Evil Eye, search up an Evil Eye card or go to the top decks page. Evil Eye. And we got a breakdown already of how the deck's being played. Something like this. We are going to negate the Surzeal from searching for an Evil Eye spell or trap. But the Basal Trice is just absolutely nuts. We already have the Selene, which we were going to search for a card that would give us Selene. Basal Trice is a quick effect summon onto the field from the hand or grave. The Surzeal cannot be targeted nor be destroyed by card effect, and also could destroy a special summon monster. The Evil Eye defeat can return up to 2 monsters on the field back into the hand. The infantry is allowing an additional summon to summon the Diva. Now, we used up our summon. We're done, right? Wrong. We do have the Kartohin, the hidden gem, which will allow an additional summon into the infantry again. Selene's going to get boosted up our monster, and that's what we're doing. The Basal Trice is now going to be summoned. Come forth, and whenever we want, we could perform a Link summon using the equip card to count as a monster. Now, this is scary because we are untargetable, but this does not target. It can use its effect to take control of the Surzeal, but if you take control of the Surzeal, which is untargetable, you could use the Basal Trice and the Selene to link into the Link 2, but without an Unleashed in the graveyard, you can't re-equip the Selene. Oh, okay, we're gonna yoink a card of the hand? What the? All right, additional summoning Diva into the Neptabyss. Why didn't we deal with this thing? Huh. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. All right, we're going to Surzeal, pop in a card we control because it's forced to do so. Making Gorgon Empress, which will be able to negate a monster effect. We're going to banish the Evil Eye Defeat, setting the Selene onto the Gorgon Empress, which can now negate a monster effect. The Retribution can negate spell or trap, not monster. So we do have monster negate and spell and trap card negate. We got everything, mate. Untargetable, indestructible. What do? We're going to negate it. So you do not get the additional summon of the infantry into infantry. Activating the Gorgon to be destroying a monster this points to, pointing to nothing. Field spell, searching for a monster. Surzeal, then search for the Unleash. Unleash, send the Basal Trice and a Gorgon, searching for Selene. Discard Selene, searching for some other nonsense like an Awakening. Selene from the graveyard, equip onto the Surzeal. Then you got 2 monsters with Selene. Is GG. Ah, geez. Imperm, Max, Ash, like what the heck? We drew literally Exodia. It is Spright Mermail. The Neptabyss will send by card effect, by cost that is a Dragoons to add a Dragoons. Dragoons have sent for a water monster effect. Cost will be adding a Sea Serpent from the deck to the hand. We're going to be using the Sea Minstrel to look at the opponent's hand, and then you're going to banish 1 card from their hand face up until the end phase. So before a card from a hand gets banished, we're going to ditch the Max C so you can't banish it, getting rid of the impermanence, but still has Ash. Okay, Dragoons being sent to the graveyard again for the cost of a water, activating to grab Lapis. Lapis is going to be special summoning itself onto the field. Usually make a Crystron Hulk here, but it's kind of banned. We got Masquerena though. With 5 waters in the graveyard exactly, we're gonna summon the Elemental Lord. If special summon, discard 2 random cards from the opponent's hand. Can we randomly hit something good? Serenir and the Surzeal, which we could search for another one anyway. Because we have Masquerena, we're going to special summon the red. Our only disruption is link off with Masquerena or tribute the Masquerena for red to negate a monster effect. This is not, I mean, that Maxi slaughtered us. Not good. Okay, Masquerena now negated, so the red's going to have to activate. Uh-oh, evenly matched. Is imperm and evenly matched. This is so much. Now the reds just got absolutely nothing. Unleashed, even if negated, still sends the cards to the graveyard by cost to search for a Selene. We got the field spell, grabbing Surzeal, which will be searching for any evil eye spell or trap or monster that is, anything. We're going to be using the Gorgon to discard the Basal Trice from the hand, which could reborn from the graveyard using its effects. Come forth and show con. We are going to now use the Katabal Pass to reborn itself from the graveyard if we control an Evil Eye. We're now going to rank 3 Exceed, Shokan into Machine X for non-targeting monster suckage, and Selene is going to be boosting from us activating a monster effect. This was all in main phase 2. What do we have here? The Surzeal is untargetable, indestructible, can destroy a special summon monster. If we activate a monster effect on the field only, not the grave, it will suck it up, but not negate. We have Evil Eye Defeat, which could return up to 2 monsters on the field back into the hand. All right. This activate, it's forced to destroy a card you control during the standby phase. Okay, and that's okay. The field spell is going to be activating, recycling a monster in the graveyard back to the hand. And then we are boosting up from activating our monster effect. Neptabyss is going to use the cost to send Dragoons. We'll still be searching, but the effect of the Machine X will be sucking up the Neptabyss. So we're going to get 2 Sea Serpents in the hand right now. So the resolution of the Prince, grabbing the infantry, and the activation of the Dragoons, adding the Minstrel, which could send the infantry to pop a card on the field, getting rid of the Ash temporarily. Infantry could take out the Selene or the Machine X. Taking out the Machine X. Foolish Burial, after getting rid of the Ash, we're going to be able to safely send a card from the deck to the graveyard. Basal Trice Reborning from the graveyard. Sending Nimble Angler, which will activate to summon double Nimble from the deck. With 2 cards on the field, 2 monsters, the Evil Eye Defeat is perfect here to return both back to the hand with no normal summon left. Rip. Add back with the Deep Sea effect as we temporarily banished. And do we have lethal? 4,700 on the field. Activate Celine. Boost up to 5,200 on the field. Gain attack equal to the difference, now 7,200 on the field. Now it's going to be like 82, 92, 10,000 damage on the field. We are scooping it up. That is a 2-0 victory. All right, Spright versus Tear. Both decks are here and ready. We're going to cross out Designate, Negate. You all have that same feeling, right? You don't want to play a deck that everyone else is playing, and Evil Eye's that perfect deck to play. Very good. No one wants to know what the deck does, and you'll be clapping up everyone. It's doing really well on the website. Angler being sent from the deck to the graveyard, activating a summon, double, Nimble Beaver. We got the blues searching for the red. Let's Shokan this up into Gigantic Spright. Now let's speed this up since there's no interruption. Special summoning Maxi, returning it back to the hand with the effect of the Swap Frog, searching for Maxi. Quite balanced. We have Elf reborning the Swap Frog, which is semi-limited due to how good it is, making Melfi Forest, which is the best way to counter Tearlament as it searches for a caddy, which could make a Herald of Arc Light. And we'll talk about the Herald of Arc Light in a bit. We've got Masquerena to link off during the opponent's turn. We've got the Double Cross, which could steal a monster from the graveyard or field. We got the red to negate a monster effect. And boy, are we screwed. The caddy's going to make a Herald of Arc Light, and the Arc Light's going to make it so any card sent from the deck or hand to the graveyard that's a monster is going to be banished. So the Tearlaments will not be able to activate. They do have a rare opportunity to do it before this turns into a Herald of Arc Light, though. You can normal summon Merly with the Scream, Mill 6. Those cards will go to the graveyard, but then after that, they will be able to make the Herald of Arc Light for any newly cards sent to the graveyard. We're going to get rid of the Double Cross, spinning it back into the deck. And beyond the Herald of Arc Light, we still have to deal with the Monster Negate, Herald of Arc Light, a Monster Link into, not really going to be a disruption, probably not. It's going to probably instead be an Avermax, which will protect the Herald of Arc Light. So there goes our one Monster Negate. Goodbye to our Kelbeck, Scream, and the Merly. It is now time to do exactly what we said. We are good. No disruption for this play. We have this. All the way. Merly and Scream. Now, we caddy. And then on a separate chain link, we could make the Herald of Arc Light. So we are not going to be able to negate whenever is sent. Mill 3, nothing. Mill 3, nothing. What the heck was that? You milled 6 cards of nothing. All right. Up next. All right. We're going to be adding Mudora with the effect of the Keldo, discarding a Miller to mill 5 for both players. Again, not milling Tearlament Fusion starters. What the heck? No Tear Girls in sight. Making Dark. Dark with a Dark Monster can make a Sprin. Sprin could send Merly. And finally, we're going to be able to fuse. Get Sprinded. Thanks to you having a Dark Monster in the graveyard to make that even easier for us to do. Merely returned the Rhino, making the Kit Cal, now searching or sending a Tearlament card. We still have our normal summon. Sharon could send Mudora, but first we're going to use the Kit Cal to send itself to summon a Rhino. We're going to mill 5 plus send any tier card from the deck to the grave. Oh boy, now we got plays. We have all of them. We have all 3 fusion activations this turn. Merly, Havnus, Sharon. This should be Rukal and a Kaleido Hearts. Kaleido Heart backed up by a Sulliek is insanity. There's no way Sprite's going to be able to beat this. We would need evenly matched. Evenly matched is the only way. And we actually don't even have, we would have an out, we need 2 evenly matches, just 2. 2 evenly. And good luck doing it through Maxi also. Special summon, inherently cannot be negated by the Rukal. Chainlink blocking the Angler from being negated by the Rukal. Very nicely done. Summon double Beaver from the deck. Normal summon the Hyperia to draw a card. Wow. Negating draw 1 and putting it back into the deck to get Mudora into the graveyard. Swap Frog returning itself back to discard another Angler. Angler activating again. Oh my Jesus. Angler is not hard once per turn. And just like that, we hopping into game 3. Let's go, game 3. Yield spell, grabbing our Sharon, which will not be used yet, but we're going to send a Kelback from the deck to the graveyard. Is there any way Sprite's going to be able to beat this? I'm confused. Did Spright lose game 2, then choose to go second for game 3? What happened? Right? Tier just won game 2. All right, let's go. Yeah, why? Why is this happening? Go second Spright deck. Just wants a good challenge, that's all. Kit Cal and Scream mill 3, pop a card in the field. I will confirm that if you lose a duel within a best of 3 match in our tournament, you choose who goes first and second. Now, there's a chance that this player had no idea of that ruling and got all the way to top 16 just randomly winging the game 2 and game 3. Come to me, Celiac. Havnis, get Fusion Shokanen. Into Rukal. Sharon, discard the Snow. Mill 3, not milling anything noteworthy as we make a Baron to floor with the level 6 Tuner Diviner, becoming level 6 by sending a level 4 Kelbeck. Popping that Beaver, scooping it up. MMD, did you knew that you, what happened, man? Let's help them out. Tell them that they can, for the next tournament, choose to go first or second if they lose. All right, let's go. The next game. Max C in the draw. Everyone's afraid of the TTT Triple Tactics talent, which still does not have a bundle. Konami, what are you doing? Sending the Tragedy, grabbing the Alubur. Alubur going to get impermed. Imperm on Alubur, I think, is a good play. I don't think it's good to wait for the thing because now you're screwed because Branded Loss is going to make it so you can't imperm the Lubellion. So what happened here, mate? Yup. Get Branded Fusioning, and now the imperm is dead. But we're not even, I mean, we have Max C anyway. So maybe, I guess, sure. Because we're under Max C, I could forgive not imperming. If that's why you chose to not imperm, because of your Max C. Okay. Now, this is going to do nothing against a lab deck. It could negate an extra deck monster plus spin a monster back to the hand. Okay. Pada E, draw 2. Come to me. And we are now labbing with the lady, making sure to set before summoning her because she's untargetable and indestructible as long as you have set cards, including a set monster or set field spell. Ending the turn. That's it. Max C again. But this time we have an Albaz Fusion to use the Mercurier to negate. We're going to chain Big Welcome Labrynth Mate. Super Poly to chain link block the lady from chaining to the trap. If you have anything activatable, that's what you want to do. Chain link block the lady. Do not let them chain to their own trap. Okay. Super Poly, Alubur, and the lady making a Quiritis, which is not really disruption. It could become disruption. We'll talk about that if that becomes relevant. As we summon a Lovely, then return Lovely. That will be using the Lab to pop the back row Branded Lost. Why didn't we summon a lady, return lady? Don't tell me the lady's in the graveyard, so we could have just re-summoned it, returned it back to the hand, then summon it whenever. That is kind of interesting. Why did this happen? Why did we Lovely? Ash is going to negate the Branded Fusion, mate. We already used up the Mercurier on the Max C. Now. We have the Cartesia activating the Fuse with the Libitum. Libitum can activate to special summon a Despia or Fusion back onto the field. The Gangrenol is going to be chaining with the Ad Libitum, sending a level 6 or higher, light or dark from the deck or extra deck to the grave that Imperm is going to negate. Alrighty. Why is Caritas in D? We are Aluburin. Alubur, Labrynth, because we activated a non-lab trap, will summon Lady from the Grave. Maybe you play only one lady and you did not want the lady to be in defense. That's my thought. What do you think about that? You could activate Caritas to reduce to 0, or you could activate Caritas, negate your Caritas, then use this to return back the lady. That'd be a bad idea because then it could be resummoned. Okay. Branded in white is going to banish the Albaz from the graveyard, and the Caritas is going to be used to make a Mirror Jade. Non-target monster banish. Imagine playing into the Imperm row now. Alrighty. Mirror Jade is the main way to deal with the untargetable, indestructible lady, which it didn't have a set card anyway. Ariana searching for the big welcome, not searching for lady. Interesting. Big welcome is going to be activating Chaining the Max C. I feel like lady would have been better here. So I will tell you, I'm not gonna try to like coach or do anything crazy like that too much, but an option was to add the lady, and then, I mean, we're basically doing this anyway, so this is still okay. This is still very good. We could chain this is even better, you could say, because now we got the big welcome in the graveyard. So this is where, against a branded deck, you could activate the Welcome Labrynth, chain the lady to the Welcome Labrynth to set a card like Dimensional Barrier. And Dimensional Barrier is going to be activatable if you summon an Ariana to add the clock. You send the clock to the graveyard, and then you're going to be able to use the barrier to lock them out of fusion summoning. And then you get Lovely on the field to recycle the Dimensional Barrier, and they're kind of screwed. The problem here is if they chain link block your trap activating so that the lady can't chain to it, you're not going to be able to set up that Dimensional Barrier, and that's maybe what we're going to see here with the quick play spells that they have. So that is also the counterplay. Welcome Labrynth, chaining the branded opening to chain link block the lady. That sucks. That really sucks. And if he adds the clock, he's coping. That is major cope. We'll see. He's hoping. He's coping. He's going to know right now, can we chain lady to the Imperm, set Dimensional Barrier, and auto win? Do we win? Nope. Chain Super Poly. Couldn't do it. VEC, blocking the Lady Labrynth. Double blocked. Unbelievable. All right. Adding a lady with the Ariane, and we now got Alubur being added, and we also have branded in white. So I think we're kind of screwed there. I mean, that was it. That was our play. It was all about getting the Dimensional Barrier, and Vector just blocked it twice. Vector just had the hand. He had the way. He had the play. All right, Lou Bellion. And was there anything he could do about it? There really wasn't. If they have too many quick play spells or quick effects to block your lady, you just don't get to have your super cheesy auto win. I guess it makes it less cheesy, and you know, it's counterplayable. We have the non-target monster banish. We have the branded in red, which will be targeting the ad libitum to make probably a Chimera to pop cards in the field and resummon the Mirror Jade for non-target monster banish again. Imperm negate, chain the lady mate. Alrighty. We could Ariana add clock to activate the Welcome Labrynth. That's not going to be so good though. Getting the Brigran into the graveyard with our negated Mirror Jade, that's going to be good for adding a Mercurier during the end phase. During the end phase, we're going to do something even better. Ooh, this is interesting. By spinning back the Mirror Jade with our hard once per turn big welcome. So if we activate a big welcome on the field, we can't use the effect in the graveyard. It's going to make it so the ad libitum cannot resummon the Mirror Jade. That was the plan. So good on you for that. Add the ad libitum. It's optional to Fusion Shokan, and we're definitely going to Fusion Shokan into the Guardian Chimera. Guardian Chimera is going to be activating with the Welcome Labrynth to be popping and drawing as the ad libitum resummons Quiritis back onto the field. Quiritis is here. Chimera is going to pop 1, draw 2. Goodbye to the Welcome Labrynth as we reset another one, so not too big of a deal. Even better than adding the Mercurier is the Brigand summoning Albaz to fuse with the untargetable, indestructible Lady Labrynth. We could do that. Yes, we will. Into Lubellion discard kit into summon Mirror Jade. Oh my Jesus, this is just devastating. Borreload Furious Dragon instead of Mirror Jade. Mirror Jade can't deal with back row. Well, the Borreload Furious can. Pop in Lubellion, and then we have the Brandon High Spirits adding back to the hand during the end phase. Vector was ready for this matchup. Not cool. Definitely not cool. Reducing Ariana before summoning the Tragedy. We have a whopping over 9,000 damage on the field. Damn. Clapped up. Super clapped up. Yup. Damn. Wow. 2-0. Hopefully we have more Labrynth in the tournament. Welcome back. Exosister versus Scareclaw. Holy moly, let's go. Martha into Max C. We have no way to stop it. It's going to be at least a draw 2. We do not just end with Martha plus another body on the field. We're going to have to exceed that up into Mikalis, probably grabbing a Returnia is what I would be thinking. Detach Elise. Bestial Magna Hut, banishing the Elise. All right, get it out of here. We're not chaining our own Max C to just draw 1. Magna Hut activating to be banished, but we're searching for a dragon during the end phase, grabbing our very own Druid Swarm. Returnia, just as I thought, will be banishing a card on the field or in the grave. Max C during the draw phase. Now, let's see what we could do. Special summoning under the Max C, searching for a field spell, which will be another search. We could Returnia, banish the field spell, stopping it from searching for the Rhino Heart thing. Yes, Scareclaw, Reichheart. Special summoning onto the field, searching for an Arrival. Arrival is a hard once per turn, so we're just grabbing a second copy. Now, with 3 monsters in defense on the field, thanks to your Mikalis, I could use the field spell to pop any card in the fields. Now you're forced to use it. Probably was not expecting that. Chaining the Scareclaw Straddle. If you activate a card which would target my Scareclaw, I'm going to say no. That is negated. Very, very interesting. And we are under Max C, so are you going to chill? Not chilling. No chill. Try Heart, forcing every monster on the field to go into defense. We're going to be special summoning a monster from the grave and searching our deck for another Scareclaw. Special summoning that Scareclaw, special summoning another Scareclaw, activating their rival to special summon another Scareclaw. Why are we doing this? Well, the Scareclaws give the Try Heart abilities. The Acro is given the ability to gain 300 attack for every defense position monster control. Okay, great. This one is given the ability to piercing battle damage when we battle into a monster. All right, that's great. We have the Astra. Per monster in defense, we have that many attacks. 42, 42, 42, 42 piercing battle damage. Let's go. Just like that. Attack number 1, attack number 2, attack number 3, under Max C, lethal damage. Hot damn. We had it evenly ready for the end of the battle phase, didn't we? Oh boy. Kurikara. So what's interesting here, Marasaki lost game 1 and chose for Scareclaw to go first because they are a go second deck. Lots of go second cards, flip the whole field face down, wipe out the back row or monsters. Now, even though we're a go second deck, can we do something decent going first? Can we put up something kind of okay? Imperm negating the ability to search for a Scareclaw spell. Special summoning Shoconning into the Try Heart. So what could be good about Try Heart going first is it's unaffected from the activated effects of monsters that are in defense, and it forces the monsters to be into defense. So it could be a bit hard to deal with. The evenly match, getting rid of the other monsters, which really was not contributing to the field that much. Grabbing Martha. We're going to need a Returnia to deal with Try Heart. Otherwise, how do we deal with it? It's kind of like Baguska, but it does not negate their effects. Drawing with Sophia, making the Pls. Pls would not be able to banish the Tryhard. We are searching. We could use Pls to banish a card in the graveyard to trigger the Martha, though. Martha, come to me. Shokan into Castapel. Castapel is going to be searching for a Martha to be used next turn. And now we have Magnifica. Okay. Returnia will be able to banish the Tryhard, which we're doing so right away. Chaining Max C. Okay, yep. Yeah, I'm not special summoning anyway. Not going to cross out Designate, holding on to it. It does waste the Lightning Storm, wiping out the back row. Now, Sword of Concealing Light is non-targeting, but it's a continuous spell, so we could just banish it. When this card resolves, change all monsters face down. So we just chain banish, right? We're activating the... Why is it not saying what it's activating? When your opponent activates a card, we're going to jump off the field, but we could also chain banish. Yep. Chain banish. And then make a Pls to then be able to banish again. Now, let's read the Kurikara, which for some reason is in Duel Links. I mean, like, maybe we should have crossed out the Max C and, you know, like, drew a card for free, kind of. Now, what this states is if you could tribute monsters on the field that activate their effects this turn. The Pls did not activate, so we cannot tribute it. We got the right card, grabbing the Arrival, which could reborn a monster from the graveyard. We're going to link off into searching for the field spell. If we banish the field spell will not be searching. We are doing it, which now the Karikura contributes the Pls. Your Pls is mine. Kurikara is here. At 3,000 attack, Arrival is going to reborn the Balone. We're going to make the Tri-Heart. 6,400 life. Do we have enough to perform lethal damage as we reborn the Balone, which will boost up per monster in... No, that's a defense piercer. It's just 6K. What the... Straddle couldn't boost for game. Straddle will target a monster, and then one monster your opponent controls to gain attack. So we could not do that. Martha, everything in D were unaffected from the D. The Straddle could also make it. If we get targeted by a card effect, we could negate it. So the Returnia, which is the main way to out the Tryhard, will not be able to work this time. Castapel, grabbing Stella. We still have an additional summon. Into D you go. We could still special summon the Irene. Feeling safe with that red reboot, but it's not a trap. Pls is here, ready to banish a card on the field or in the grave. We should probably banish that Straddle. Uh-oh. Straddle is going to negate. You will not banish my Balone. Okay, at 8,000 life, 1,200. Returnia can now deal with the Tryhard since the Straddle's been... Straddle off the top of the deck? No way! Negate! That is ridiculous. We got double attack, we got piercing battle damage, and these Exosisters do nothing. Absolutely nothing. How many Straddles you playing, mate? Damn. That is wild. Oh, that is so unlucky. If you're on YouTube and you enjoyed this top 16, thank you very much. Make sure to plus, like, subscribe, comment, and donate and share to your grandmother and all that good stuff. It will allow us to want to post more full top 16s. We're now going into the full top 8, top 4, which will be a separate video. Let's go.